If people think that this election is just about swapping one crowd for another, and that will solve our problems, then I think we're all sadly mistaken. So people are angry, people are worried, and people are anxious about the future. And it's at different levels. It's at people who've lost their jobs because they have mortgages to pay, and they have kids at school. It's getting very difficult. I think if we genuinely want to learn lessons from the past, we have to accept that the wider parliamentary and governmental system did fail and needs to be radically changed. We cannot have this election on the basis of how we conducted previous elections. Soundbite must go out. It must be replaced by substance and detail.
My father was a bus driver, and this here, the statue where the busman's hut was a location that he often came to, dropped off the bus here. We'd often meet him here, and for us as children growing up, this was one of our most favourite spots in Patrick Street as a result. This is the City Hall of Cork. He would box here when he boxed for Ireland and boxed for Glen Rovers. I remember well knocking on the doors in Ballyphehane, Turner's Cross, explaining to them what I wanted to do on local government, and of course they weren't interested in that at all. They simply asked me one question: were you the champ's son?
We need to create opportunities for young people in training, in work experience, and in actual employment itself. We need to create the right environment and supports for small businesses to start up, to grow, and to thrive. Companies like Crumbylift in Monaghan that manufactures forklifts with a completely radical new design that's winning market share. A small food company in Cork like Cully Sully that does the soups and so on and winning market share overseas. There are many, many more companies like that. Up to 300,000 jobs can be created with the right policies over the lifetime of this plan. And that means new schemes like the Business Expansion and Employment Scheme, which will facilitate those companies to get more funding. That's the base upon which we can grow jobs in this country.
It can't be a solo effort all along the way. If you're a member of a company, a club or whatever, it's a team, and you have to be part of that team, and you have to work towards the common good.
No other political party has offered such a specific, detailed and radical plan as we have. And what I sense in the other parties is window dressing.
I think the great thing my father always taught me, he never went down in a fight, and he always kept fighting till the final bell. And that's my motto in terms of politics and in terms of this election.
I know the rock from which I was hewn, and I know my roots, and I've never lost that. The challenges my parents came through in life, and there were many and significant, that developed a strong sense of self-reliance, of a value system that always said, be on the lookout for people who are in difficulty. And I suppose that's part of what I am. That's why I'm optimistic, that we have within us the capacity to come out of this crisis, and we will come out of this crisis.